Good morning, everybody. This is Lila in Hawaii. I'm going to make one of my famous folders for cards, for old photographs, for gift cards, for mementos. And I've noticed that over the years since I made the first one, which was made from paper actually, there have been lots and lots appearing on different websites, Pinterest and so forth. But I think I may have been one of the first to do this. Anyway, first of all, I'm going to show you the components. So you need a pattern, and it's just a piece of cardstock cut like that. You can cut any size you like, and that's the size I'm doing, so there we go. And if you need to know, or perhaps I should tell you, it is it's 9.5 that way by 6.5, 9.5 by 6.5, and you cut on a diagonal to the point starting at 3 inches. That's 3 inches. Okay, so that's one of the things you need. You need some old lace, and I used curtaining, actually. Pretty old, but I've got quite a lot of it. Then you need some decorations. I have a French label here, and one of my handmade flowers, sequin, pearl, and gold leaf. And then I cut up some pieces of an old doily. There. And you need something to tie it with, so I have there are about 3/4 of a yard pieces that I've attached on either side. Those are going to be the ties. You also need a lining, and that would be my lining there. And it's also, I think, sort of a brocade, but not quite, and I do believe it was curtaining as well. It was given to me by a friend. It was white, and I've tea-dyed it. Okay, what else do you need? I'm going to show you how I make my little flowers. These are 5-petaled flowers. Then I've got some paper fasteners, and the reason for that is I'm going to store some old photographs inside the pocket, and I've fastened a little tag on there with the child's name. In this case, it's Patty. Oh, you can see I've got a little label, and I pushed it through with one of those. This is just for fun, make it look fancy. I cut out I printed the photographs on cardstock, and I cut them out with those scissors. It's not a scallop, it's really a zigzag. And when I printed them with a border of sort of a ecru color, so that's that. And these are how I find these. I also have tea-dyed these a long time ago. Okay, I think that's pretty much all we need for that. It's a little bit of machine sewing, not too much. You can decorate these any way you like. I like to do a little bit of hand sewing on them. Now the thing to remember is you've got lace around the sides, and you don't want to sew that down when you're putting the backing on, so you need to be able to lift it up like that as you sew. So don't sew it right close to the edge, and don't forget when you're putting ties on, you do have to place them inside like that. And if you're really worried about them, you can actually pin them inside. But before I sew that, since I'm decorating the outside a little bit, I thought I'd show you real quick how I make these. And they're very easy, a little bit time consuming. Takes me about 2 minutes, I would say, to make one. And you can make them with ribbon, torn rags. This is seam binding. You can make them with 4 petals, 5 petals. This is 5 petals. If you make one with 2 petals and one with 3 petals, and put them together, you have a pansy. And in that case, I usually do two colors of purple and lilac or something like that to make it look more pansy. Anyway, I started this, let me see, and I thought I'd show you how I do this. Let's see. Trying to do this backwards. Okay, so this is going to be 1 petal, 2, 3, 4, and I've got 1 more. I've already started, and now the thing is, you do a pattern that's like a mountain. You go up one side, across the top and down the other. The trick is, as you reach the top, which is the top, you go over the ribbon and come down again. And it doesn't matter a whole lot how big the stitches are. I think I'm ambidextrous. In fact, I know I am. So I may be doing this backwards to you. But anyway, you go down here. And this is old seam binding, and it's not quite as soft. It's more taffeta-like, so it's a little hard to get the needle through. Okay, so I've put it through there. And then you've got to finish up by going back to the top, which is the part you would have whipped over the side. Now, before you go to pull them up a little bit, and before you go totally down, you've got to make sure that it's not twisted, and it will tend to twist. So what I do now is I come to the beginning and the end, meet them together, and stitch them together before anything else happens. So that way you've got them without twisting. This one's not the color nor the size that I would use on this. Anyway, it's done. So I think I've shown you the components, and I've got these ready to go. Got my ruler. Don't need these scissors anymore. I've cut out everything I needed to. I also should have the lining, and then I've got an extra little flower that I had made earlier. This one's a little smaller. I'll see if I need that. Okay, so the next thing to do is put the lining face down, and you'll notice that it's much bigger than I need. That's okay. I'll cut it later. I like to do that. I like to give myself a little extra here and there. And I am going to go right around. Now notice I'm only pinning in the center. I don't want to pin those edges, because as I sew, I'm going to have to be very careful and push the the lace back inside the linen. So that's done. So I'm taking out the last pin, and I think I told you I've got some areas that need cutting off. Didn't want to cut those off till I was completely sure that I had everything where it's supposed to be. So now I can cut it off. So I'm going to cut off that. This is a good way of anything that's a shape, like a heart or anything with a bit of shape. It's good to use a straight piece of fabric for the backing and cut it later. Sometimes the surprise is I've caught something I shouldn't and I have to unpick it. But that's rare. I've done this so many times I don't normally have to worry about it. Okay, so here we go, here we go. I'm doing that. So that's going to be there. And of course, there is that. Now, the other thing about this that I don't know whether you've noticed or not, it's going to open from the left side. As I said, I'm ambidextrous, but I also like ties on the left when it's like this. You can do it opening on the right. It's up to you, whichever way you want. And I do both. However, my mood today was open on the left. course, it makes no difference to the finished product, really. Okay, so here you have it, and I'm going to, of course, sew this opening closed, and I think for the sake of speed I'm just going to pin it to show you right now. So that's that side, the back, that's the whole front with the ties, and of course when you put it together it's going to be like so, and you will have this nice piece of sort of a brocade, and it's got a little gold fleck in. I don't know whether the camera picks that up, but it has a little gold fleck which is mimicked by this. Now I was going to sew on one more flower. I'm not going to sew up the side and take time to do that. I'm sure you know how to do that. And what I'm going to do is make a nice big floppy bow, and it may be too long so I can cut bits off later. So it's going to be like that, and of course this is going to be like this, and of course you're going to put these in there, and because it's got a little tab on it that shows nicely. I will press this, I'll be ironing this, so it'll be much nicer, sort of like that. Okay, I went ahead and I got all ready for this, so it wouldn't take so much more time. And this time you do have to be a little bit careful because you've got backing on it, so I'm going to put it right there. Since it's already completed, you know, it's not too bad. I'll make sure, yep, not going there. Now I'm going to get the decoration, and on the other one I used a sequin. So I put a sequin on. That's 2 sequins, 1 sequin, and I put a pearl. Some of the pearls these days do not have holes. You probably noticed they're welded, and so if you find them with holes, hang on to them. The old pearl necklaces, of course, are your best bet for that. So there we are. So that's done. I don't think I'm doing such a good thing with the camera today. I seem to be all over the place. Anyway. So that went the wrong way there. It went over the... There we go. Okay. There we go. So there you have it. That's it. So don't forget, this will be sewn up. It'll be nicely pressed, and I roll the seam just a little bit to the inside as I'm pressing it. Then I put that there, tie a nice bow, and pop some photographs, old photographs, inside with a little name on it, Patty, this one. Yay. There you go, Patty. So she goes in there. You can put paper dolls in there. I've done that. You can put real family photographs, you can put gift cards, postcards, birthday cards, piece of jewelry even, just whatever you like. Anyway, that's that. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.